Good morning, everybody. How are we today? Well, we're continuing our series of craft videos for you to enjoy. And this week is one of my favourite activities, and it is all based on the story of Elmer. As many of you know, Daniel's Den has top 10 books in our book boxes, and these are books that we think that every child should have in their homes, at least at some point in their lives. You know, they make really good birthday presents or Christmas or Eid or Diwali presents. And this story is such a wonderful one of an elephant who was born different, and I think it's a really great celebration of the differences in our children, and such a great read. But the thing I really love about this book is about all the multicoloured squares on Elmer's body. Funny Buddy loves that too. And of course, I'm wearing my multicoloured top in celebration of Elmer the elephant. And this week, you can see what piece of clothing have you got in your house that has the most colours on it. You know, that's one thing we love about this term with Daniel's Den, as people dressing up in the colour of the week. And this is a great week to find those rainbows or other things that have got lots and lots of different colours on. I wonder how many different colours you can find on a pair of socks in your house, and just even matching pairs of socks with different colours. It's so much learning can take place with that. So here we are now. The craft this week is so simple and something that's quite fun to do, but it's also something that can be a little bit controversial. So this is a colouring sheet with Elmer the elephant on there, and we have got some crayons. Now there's this whole debate about colouring in for children. Now when my children were little, I used to love to give them I had a special sort of drawing book, and I would just let them play with the crayons, whether or not they wanted to draw something or not. And it was just fascinating to watch what they did with that notebook. And I still have them because I think it's really good. There's no right or wrong way of making marks on paper for young children, and giving them the experience of holding a crayon or chalks or whatever is so good for their development, for fine motor skills, but also just having fun as well. And this is a colouring sheet. Now the big debate is about children colouring within the lines or over the lines. Now obviously as your child gets older, they will colour within the lines, but when they're little, it really doesn't matter if they just scribble. Scribbling is colouring in for your children and giving them the opportunity to do that. Like, obviously I'm a grown-up, so I can colour it within the lines, but if your child is doing this, then they may just scribble all over it. And just encourage that. Don't say, oh, it's wrong, or you should do it this way. Obviously when your child gets older and their skills are getting more refined, then they'll colour within the lines. But just doing some colouring like this is really, really good. And there's some lovely colouring books around. But again, you can easily draw a shape like a fish and get your children to colour it in or do it together. I think one of the big things about being a parent, isn't it, and with our crafts, is learning together. So just get, your child, they're never too young to have crayons or pens. And obviously with your supervision, they can just learn so much. But look, I'm not probably going to have all time to do this craft today, but I'm just doing it randomly. And then maybe as you're colouring it, you could say to your child, how many yellow squares are there? And they can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you could say, what colour should we do next? And they might say orange. And you can say, well, colour 5 squares orange. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is just all the randomness of this, and I love it. And as your children get older, you might like to do stripes on different angles or spots like this. Again, depending on your child. And don't forget, colouring in is very good for adults too. Like, I've never got into these colouring books, but you know, we all sometimes need things to find activities that de-stress us, not distress us, de-stress us, that help us relax. And this can be one way. Look at this. And of course, it's fine to leave white spaces because that's an amazing colour too. So there is my Elmer the elephant, and this is the craft today. And when you've done the colouring sheet like that, you can read the book to your child. We love this book. And you know, I was with friends in the summer holidays, and sometimes if you go on YouTube and you Google Elmer or any of these other books, there's often an animated version on there as well. Please don't get me wrong, I much prefer holding a book, sitting and reading it, but there are also things on your phones that you can watch these things as well. I can't believe that I'm saying that, but I'm just pointing you just so many different ways of retelling the same story. So you could read the story, you could eat multicolored food. What about making a fruit salad with all the different colors of the rainbow in it? And see if you can find an Elmer the elephant in your house, or an elephant. Oftentimes books and toys, or even covers for beds and things like that, have an elephant. So that's a challenge for you. See if you can find an elephant in your house. But there we are, Elmer the elephant. What a wonderful, wonderful book we recommend to you.